And we're live, back after 2 days. Welcome back, people, to another Crypto Sherpa News episode. I'm your host, Paul Lucci, here to give you that daily crypto news, even though it's not really daily if I took 2 days off. Oh, well, lots of stuff happening over the weekend. We spoke to 40,000. Some exchanges hit 48,000 on Binance, dropped back down to 30, 38, but who knows where the price is going to go from here. But just keep accumulating. But in today's news, we got, let's see, Tether executives facing criminal probes from the US DoJ. Not yet, says Amazon denies rumors on plans to accept Bitcoin. How crypto can modernize the world of lending. Crypto Cowboys, Texas counties welcome Bitcoin miners with arms. And Bitcoin success never depends on China. So we got all those articles and more. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. So yes, let me share the screen with you. So let me dive right on the articles. If you will, so kind, please hit that thumbs up button, share this with your friends, as we can just educate the world on what's going on in the crypto world. All right, let me share the screen. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bam, here we go. All right, so Tether executives face criminal probes from the US DOJ. The DOJ investigation is focusing on conduct that occurred during the earlier years of the company. This is with Tether. I always say don't keep your money with Tether, the stable coin. But the U.S. Department of Justice has opened a criminal probe against Tether Limited. The investigation is focusing on bank fraud committed during the company's earlier years of operation. Tether settled with the New York Attorney General earlier this year over the alleged issuing of stablecoins without proper backing. The world's largest stablecoin provider, Tether, is facing a criminal probe from the U.S. Department of Justice following allegations that the company committed bank fraud. Tether investigated for bank fraud. Executives at Tether Limited are facing an investigation into bank fraud from the U.S. Justice Department. Bloomberg reported Monday morning. Federal prosecutors allege that Tether concealed the nature of its activities with banks, hiding the fact that transactions were linked to cryptocurrencies. The conduct which occurred during the company's earlier days was disclosed by 3 anonymous sources familiar with the matter. As news of the investigation broke, critics of the most widely used stablecoin took to Twitter, citing previous audio recordings as evidence of the company's misleading banks. Here's a Twitter post by Bennett Tomlin. Tether definitely misled banks. Here's a recording that proves it. The Tether executive said to face criminal probe into bank fraud. DOJ examining whether Tether misled banks about crypto business, and Tether says it's committed to cooperation within the law enforcement. In the recording, Tether and Bitfinex executive Phil Potter seemingly admits to waging a frivolous lawsuit against Wells Fargo with the objective of keeping transactions with the bank open. In response to the current investigation, Tether stated that it has an open dialogue with law enforcement agencies, including the DOJ, as part of the commitment to cooperation and transparency. The announcement of a criminal probe from DOJ is not the first controversy to hit the company this year. In February, Tether and its parent company Bitfinex settled with the New York Attorney General, agreeing to an $18.5 million penalty for falsified claims that its stablecoins were fully backed by US dollars. Although Tether agreed to the penalty, the company asserted it was not admitted to any wrongdoing. Following in May, Tether published a report containing a full breakdown of its reserve in response to fears that a large number of its stablecoins were unbacked. The report disclosed that 75% of its reserves were backed by cash or cash equivalents, such as commercial paper, fiduciary deposits, and bonds. As Tether continues to attract negative attention, the regulatory focus on stablecoins is intensifying. In recent meetings with several heads of the U.S. financial institution, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen urged regulators to act quickly regarding stablecoin regulation. With Tether's position as the current stablecoin market leader, any decisive action against the company is likely to affect the wider crypto market. In June, Tether reached a $62 million market capitalization, with an average daily trading volume regularly exceeding $50 billion. Tether has since responded to the issue, stating that Bloomberg was merely republishing past accusations, citing unnamed sources into generic clicks. The full response can be found on their website, or I'll bring it to you right here. Here's because, like I said, I was gone for 2 days and the news just kept coming in. But Tether calls recent Bloomberg report of an alleged DOJ probe clickbait. Tether responds to today's reports of its executive being alleged in DOJ probe, saying it's baseless and recycled. Tether just issued a brief response to Bloomberg article published earlier today, alleging that the company's executives are facing a criminal probe into bank fraud. Tether, the stablecoin issuer, considers the article as part of the continued effort to discredit them while being patiently designed to generate clicks. Tether says that they have committed to the cooperation, transparency, and accountability that they have maintained in open dialogue with the DoJ as part of that commitment. The statement concludes by saying they will continue business as usual and remain focused on how to best serve their customers. Bloomberg alleged DoJ investigations specifically questioned whether Tether's past activities were known by banks involved with cryptocurrencies. So yeah, Tether, we'll see what happens in the near future, but I wouldn't use it. Most people who use Tether are those who that don't want to sell their cryptocurrencies, but they're traders to try to keep their profits. So if the market's going down, they're going to move it over to a stable coin. They use Tether. Once the market starts going up, they move back to Bitcoin. But that's all a real use case of stable coins out there, but they are being used because also they can gain you pretty big earnings rather than keeping fiat currency in the bank. So let's move on to our next article because that's the Tether news. Next up, Amazon denies rumors on plans to accept Bitcoin. 2 days ago, I reported an article about them possibly accepting Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, and who knows what other coins. But I believe this is what probably caused the little downturn after we hit the 40,000 mark of Bitcoin today. An Amazon spokesperson said that the previous reports of the company planning to accept Bitcoin this year are false. An Amazon spokesperson said that early reports of the company planning to accept Bitcoin and to investigate the issuance of its token next year are false. Previously, a report from City AM, citing Amazon's insiders, claimed that the world's leading online retailer plans to accept Bitcoin and to investigate issuing its own token in 2022. The report went even further, saying that this isn't just going through the motions to set up cryptocurrency payments solutions at some point in the future. This is a full-on, we'll-discussed integral part of the future mechanisms of how Amazon will work. It begins with Bitcoin. This is the key of the first stage of the crypto project, and directive is coming from the very top, says Jeff Bezos himself. Many in the community questioning the authenticity of the report and the trustworthiness of the said insiders. Didn't take much for the company to come with an official statement and unfortunately to pronounce the City AM report false. Well, that's what Jeff Bezos says, but honestly, for me, my personal opinion, don't trust him. This is like Elon Musk all over again. Said he was going to sell his Bitcoin, but then he reported in the B word that him, Tesla, SpaceX still hold all their like 1.3 million, or I keep forgetting the correct number of Bitcoin is, so they never sold. And also, this is just the beginning. Amazon is definitely going to be accepting cryptocurrencies, and who knows, they're probably going to be starting their own exchange where you can buy cryptocurrencies from them. But that's where the world's headed. Like, everyone wants to be that new middleman as banks slowly deplete. But let's see what happens in the near future. I'm sure we're going to get tons more news articles about Amazon in the future. Next up, how crypto can modernize the world of lending. And that's right. If you can hodl long enough, pretty soon you can leverage and lend out your cryptocurrencies instead of ever having to sell them. But crypto lending offers powerful advantages when compared with the status quo, including more competitive interest rates and flexible terms. Lending has been around in some form for thousands of years, dating back to ancient civilizations where farmers would borrow seeds and use crops as payments. The arrival of fiat currencies transformed the way of economics were run back then. Indeed, you could argue that we're seeing such a seismic shift now as cryptocurrencies become a larger and more influential part of the world's financial ecosystem. When done right, crypto lending has the potential to level the playing field, giving consumers a type of flexibility that they may otherwise have been unaccustomed to. For several years now, the rates offered by the banks have been tepid, to say the least. In some countries, even the more generous savings accounts will only pay less than 1% interest in funds, even if funds are locked up for several years. That's why I was saying people use stable coins like with Tether or USDC. Like you can make at least 15% back on your interest by keeping your stable coins in an exchange rather than keeping your money in a bank. So yeah. Given how inflation has been rising sharply recently, in the part because of money printed performed in response to the coronavirus pandemic, signing up for one of these accounts means a saver's money would actually command less spending power down the line. Crypto lending offers three powerful advantages compared with the status quo. First, it is possible to find more competitive deals that ensure capital actually grows, with the interest sometimes paid on a weekly or monthly basis. Second, many platforms offer a much needed degree of flexibility to lenders, meaning that they won't be forced to lock up their money for long periods of time and can withdraw their funds at will. And third, it can act as a powerful incentive when markets are behaving rather erratically. That's before we've even discussed the fact that cryptos as a collateral can be far more practical from a lender's point of view than real estate, an asset that is rather liquid or illiquid and can be rather time consuming to sell. It isn't just the lenders who benefit though. Of course, all this sounds like a good deal for lenders, the people who have capital to spare, but it can also be beneficiary for borrowers too. In the current financial ecosystem, where a single blemish on otherwise impeccable credit history can deny a responsible consumer access to the best interest rates, crypto platforms can offer an invaluable lifeline. Banks offer an opaque list of requirements when it comes to finding the people they are willing to extend credits to. And in a world where ever increasing numbers of consumers are self-employed, otherwise credit-worthy applicants can end up excluded from the market simply because they don't have traditional 9-to-5 jobs, irrespective of whether they are actually earning more money in their current arrangement. The crypto world can help this foster inclusively, but there are challenges. A number of lenders in this space are offshore and unregulated, something that can make them less appealing to everyday consumers. This also restricts the number of partnerships that crypto platforms can enter with the fintech firms. And just right there in this article, they're talking about like, yeah, it's like true, like you might not be able to take a line of credit out with people, but we've seen in, not on this channel, but if you study the financial news, banks are cutting lines of credit. Start with Wells Fargo. That was a big guy in the news where they stopped lines of credit. We haven't seen that since 2007. And now like small banks out there, Bank of America, American Express, not in the news itself, but people are reporting that they have lost their lines of credit with them. They're just shutting them down for the public. So what's going to happen? Let's find out to see what's the future. But yeah, crypto lending is a great way of the future and fixing modern issues of the banking system that we're having right now. Let's move on to our next article. Crypto Cowboys, Texas counties welcome Bitcoin miners with open arms. Bitcoin mining facilities are setting up shop in Texas, but not only for obvious reasons like wind and land opportunities. Here's why the state is becoming popular. Look at that Bitcoin riding a horse in a cowboy hat. Texas, the second largest state in the US known for its southern hospitality, is embracing the droves of Bitcoin miners that have recently flocked to the region following China's crackdown on the crypto mining that occurred in May. A number of Bitcoin mining companies have relocated to the Lone Star State to conduct business. This shouldn't come as a surprise, though. Texas could be very well the ideal location for Bitcoin mining due to obvious reasons such as deregulated power grid, increasing renewable energy, and political leaders that are publicly pro-crypto. Texas Governor Greg Abbott recently tweeted his excitement about how Texas is becoming the new crypto leader with the recent addition of the cryptocurrency kiosks available in grocery stores. Yet, while all these elements make Texas appealing to Bitcoin miners looking to set up shop, rural communities seeking economic growth have become another less discussed feature that is luring mining companies to Texas. But yeah, Texas counties welcome Bitcoin miners to boost the economy. Chad Harris, the chief executive officer of the Winston Inc., operator of the largest crypto facility in North America, that was recently acquired by Riot Blockchain, told Cointelegraph that his team came to Rockdale, Texas to build Windstone after reading an article in Wired magazine detailing the failure of China's Bitmain mining facility in that very location in 2019. But as soon as we came to Rockdale, we didn't want to leave. We built Windstone in 183 days. We started in January 2020 and turned on the facility in June 2020. We now have 3 buildings, 300 megawatts substations, and are expanding 400 additional megawatts with 4 new buildings. So, woo! Texas will be the new mining facility. And who are they right next to? South America. And what's in South America? El Salvador, which just made Bitcoin legal tender. So, everything's lining up. So yeah, that's like Texas news. Like crypto's here, people. Like don't think it's going to get banned or go away because it is here to stay. All right, what's up next in our news articles we got for you? Almost half of Singaporeans own cryptocurrency, Independent Reserve survey said. A new survey conducted by the Independent Reserve revealed that 43% of the residents of Singapore own digital assets. 46% asserted they would purchase virtual currencies in the next year. Singaporeans are keen on cryptos. The Australian trading venue Independent Reserve, IRCI, surveyed 1,000 participants to determine the level of cryptocurrency adoption in Singapore. Per the statistics, 43% of the locals already own crypto. Taking a closer look, the results show that the younger generations are especially keen on Bitcoin and the altcoins, as 66% of them answer they are hodlers. 46% of the participants said they intended to enter the crypto space in the next 12 months. Mass awareness of the digital asset in Singapore is also at high levels. 93% of the locals said that they have heard of Bitcoin, which has positioned it undisputedly in the first position. 40% described the primary cryptocurrency as an investment asset, while 25% opened its digital gold and store of value. The youngest participants in the survey, those being 26 and 35, were among the biggest proponents of the cryptocurrencies. About 75% of them believe that the asset class will soon be a subject of mass institutional adoption. It pretty much is here, like it's coming very, very soon. The chief executive officer of the Independent Reserve, Adrian Prizzoloni, explained that the results with the fact that Singapore is a key hub in Asia due to its robust and well-regulated financial markets and infrastructure, and openness to new technologies. The Bank of Singapore considers a BTC a store of value. At the beginning of 2021, the Central Bank of Singapore opened that Bitcoin could succeed as a store of value if it manages to cope with such as its volatile nature, Chief Economist Mr. Medeiros said. So yeah, the volatile nature will definitely be fixed. The higher Bitcoin goes, the smaller that volatility will become. So just be patient, my folks, and hodl and collect. So yeah, people are collecting it around the world, and you can see over half of the Singaporeans are doing it. But yeah, that's just one country out of them all. The rest of the world is doing it. We have countries, like I said, in El Salvador, legal tender. America's probably going to be last about it, but we are adopting it like no other. And yeah, that's the Singaporeans news. Last up, we got Bitcoin success never depends on China, says former exchange owner Bobby Lee. Look at that China flag with Bitcoin. So it's looks very communistic. Bobby Lee is one of China's first Bitcoin moguls. They recently discussed his thoughts on the current Bitcoin ban in China, which he believes will continue to intensify, as well as give his forecast for the future of Bitcoin. As Chinese regulators striking their ban on cryptocurrency across the country, crypto bull and former owner of one of China's first crypto exchange, BTC China, Bobby Lee believes that China will continue to intensify its regulation on cryptocurrency. In a few years, may ban it completely, destroying any avenue for residents of the national interaction with cryptocurrency in any form. In an interview with Bloomberg, Lee outlined his thoughts on the probable overarching Bitcoin ban. The next thing they could do, the final straw, would be something like banning cryptocurrency altogether. I put it at the odds of 50-50. Because yeah, China can do whatever they want, but it's not going to affect the rest of the world. The implication of China's tough stance on cryptocurrency has been much debated by crypto skeptics and bulls alike, the impact of which undoubtedly affected the markets, but which Lee believes to be a short-term complication for Bitcoin. Despite the effects of China's regulation, Lee views the success of Bitcoin as something that won't be necessarily be influenced by the actions of one country. That's right, because this is the world currency. Not just one country owns it, the world can use it. Unfortunately, trading crypto will be a thing of the past once you get past this year, and in a way it's a good thing for crypto because in my heart, I always knew that Bitcoin's success never depended on China, just like it doesn't depend on any one country and any one group of people. China's most recent ban of crypto mining and trading has seen a number of major Bitcoin mining companies packing up shop and taking their business abroad. Like we saw in our earlier article, they're moving to Texas. And while it is not yet legal to own crypto or buy and sell to other people, the chances are that regulations will also be tightened to include this in a ban. In the meantime, bulls such as Lee continue to support Bitcoin. I'm confident that the latter half of this year, Bitcoin will go back above 65,000, and I think it will peak out over 250,000 later this year. So yeah, Charlie, or is that Charlie? No. Bobby Lee, Charlie Lee's brother, creator of Litecoin, also a great coin. But yeah, I fully agree with Bobby Lee. Like, this is not just a one country coin. This is a worldly coin. So if one country bans it, fine, that's your loss on accepting Bitcoin. You're going to wish you got in sooner, or you're going to wish you didn't ban it. But yeah, that's the news that we got for you today. I'm sure there's going to be tons more articles. Where we're at right now, we've kind of dipped a little bit. We're back at 37,000 from the 40,000 high we've surpassed earlier today, but that's still a great number. What was that? 2 days ago, we're at 29. That's an $8,000 increase. So you can keep acquiring as much as you can. Ethereum's at 2,173. Binance is at 301. Dogecoin is at 20 cents. I just gotta say this, people, if you think Dogecoin is gonna go to $1, think again. I did the math today of where the coins are from the market cap. There's like 140 billion. in circulation right now. The market cap is at 26, so it went up 2 million. But in order to be at $1, Dogecoin needs at least $123 billion flooded into the market right now today. But if not, if not today, you're going to need more money tomorrow, because Doge creates 15 million tokens a day. Think of that, people. They create 15 million tokens a day. It's an inflationary token. Like, don't get me wrong, Dogecoin can go up during a bull run because people like the Dogecoin. It's a meme, it's funny, it's a joke, but that's it. It's going to keep going down. It's not going to be able to sustain its value. So put your money there, don't put it there. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you to do your own research and be wise with your money. Litecoin is at $129. Still not bad. We were at like the 137 of the high today. Let's see, Theta is down, back down at 560. We're at close to 650 the other day. Filecoin's at 47.96, and Terra Luna's at 851. So yeah, I can keep going down if you want. Amp's going up to 6 cents. Had like a 67% increase over the past week, so kudos. And yeah, the last up, as we always finish our news article. Let me finish this. Let me refresh this, because that's old news. Yep, the Fear and Greed Index. We are back at a 32. We're in fear territory. We're not extreme fear, but fear. So people are getting slowly greedier. If you don't know how the Fear and Greed Index works, when we see signs of extreme fear, that can be a sign that investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity. But when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. So yep, as we slowly move along this line right here, you might want to just hodl that money, trade some tokens if it's a good price to trade it at. But don't buy, because there could be a correction, and you want to always accumulate in these areas of extreme fear or fear. So there you have it, people. If you stuck around for this video, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Again, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do. Also share this video. And if you guys are just getting in the cryptocurrency world and need Crypto Sherpa to help guide you, click my link down below at cryptosherpallc.com. Schedule a 15-minute free consultation. Those are for first-time users only, and I can help get you started, and maybe you'll sign up for a full consultation with me. So if not, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay beautiful. The Crypto Sherpa is out.